Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And as I mentioned on the daily financial news, I love Tuesdays. I get to talk to Matt and Omar and just have a good old time. Let's welcome Matt to the show, the Lumberjack Landlord. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Tuesdays, I agree. I look forward to as well. It's good to catch up with you. And I think it's the longest stint we ever go without talking to each other.
Exactly. It's like 4 days, dude. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? That's hilarious.
We always call each other cells if the world blows up.
Yeah, exactly. We're texting each other like every other day at least. Well, hey, do me a favor if you don't mind. Give my audience about a 60-second update on your little one.
Sure.
And then, folks, as always, keep the comments going below. Matt and his wife, look at them. Keep sending prayers. Leave comments. I want another 300 on this video. So the one rental at a time community is looking out. So what's going on there?
So we do look at all the comments. There's a lot of time to pass by when you're sitting in a hospital room for 4 or 5 days.
Exactly.
So yeah, we do look at all the comments. We appreciate every single prayer very, very much. We believe it works, and we are actually seeing tremendous results. And so we have, baby Eliana has just finished her 4th chemo treatment. It was the most aggressive yet. It was 4 days. We were in the hospital for 5 days. She had chemo every single day for 4 days. And so for those who have not gone through chemo before, basically it really starts to take its toll a couple of days after you finish. It's tiring through the process, but it really starts to sink in kind of afterwards when they're not pushing you full of fluids to get all the chemo out. And so we have some follow-up tests on Thursday. But yeah, she's a trooper. She got out a day early for good results and good behavior. So
thank goodness she is a lumberjack. And we at One Rental at a Time are thinking about and supporting her daily with our thoughts and prayers. So folks, if you want to be a part of the good vibes, leave comments below right now. Don't finish, pause it, leave a comment. Let's do the right thing.
Yeah, greatly appreciated.
I get to switch from that topic to, you know, something completely different. So good luck with that transition.
Way more fun.
Yeah. So I read an article this morning that irritated me.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to use the word irritated instead of what I really want to say.
Okay.
It said, and I quote, "This is the worst market ever for first-time homebuyers." So without reading the context, which we will go into a moment, that is what you see as a headline. How does that hit you? Worst market for first-time home buyers ever.
I can predict, I didn't see the same article, but I can predict their perspective. Because my guess is it's probably all around market uncertainty and the aggressively rising costs of housing, right?
Yeah,
is my guess. And so, yeah, I think to that end, I think it certainly is challenging because I think that there will be a correction probably, you know, like you and I have talked about, we think correction is coming in end of 22, really end of 22, maybe 23, maybe 24, still lingering. It really depends on what the Fed does and what all the inflation is. So yeah, I can see why they would call it that when you're just looking at buying a single family home and not trying to, you know, actually make money. Yeah. Doing this, you know.
So why this irritated me is I don't know. I guess it's an adjective. Again, I wasn't very good at English, so I'm going to, unless you correct, because you're a 9th grade dropout and your vocabulary is better than mine.
I should be the one to correct you.
Yeah, you'll correct me. Dude, you use these long words sometime. Like, I got to go look them up. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. Jesus. So in the end, I do not believe it's the worst market for first-time home buyers. I think it might be the hardest market for first-time home buyers.
Yep.
I don't think it's the worst, because in order to be the worst, it would mean things like you can't lock in, because again, the first-time home buyer is, you know, as on average is 31. That's just the age.
Yep.
So just think about a 31-year-old today potentially locking in 30-year money for 3% fixed.
Yeah.
For 30 years. And oh, by the way,
correct.
I've talked about inflation coming. Interest. I'm so nervous about where rates are in 2025. I refied into non-QM money to tell you how afraid I am. Right.
Yep, I agree.
So I'm afraid.
Yep, I agree.
So, you know, rates go to 5, 6, 7% 2025. You're sitting here as a 30-year-old, or now a 35-year-old, excuse me, and you have a 3% loan on a home mortgage. You're sitting pretty good. And oh, by the way, as we learned in the 70s, if you're going to have a decade of inflation, the best time to buy is the first year, not the last year.
Yep.
Right. Because again, all of this is about wage inflation.
It is.
So remember wages in the 70s doubled roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Housing more than doubled. Rent more than doubled.
Yes, it did.
So the people that won the 70s bought in 1970 or bought in 1971, and they had the low rate of the decade.
Yep.
So again, it is not the worst. It
Right.
is the hardest, because why is it hard? First and foremost, low inventory. We all know this. It's still only 1.3 million or 1.32 or something when it should be closer to 3. You are competing in a market where baby boomers are selling their houses and are cash rich and thus can overpay. Yep. Right? They can be cash buyers in other markets. We have seen iBuyers. We have seen Wall Street. We have seen one rental at a time fans come in and buy affordable housing like never before as rentals, because rents are skyrocketing. So I just want to make it clear. I do not think it's the worst. I think it's the hardest.
I agree with that.
But
yeah, I think, go ahead. No, please. So I agree with you. I think it is the hardest. I think that people buy on payment. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that it takes time to round the bend. And what I mean by that is crazy rates right now on houses, certainly brand new houses. Right?
Oh yeah.
That's where we're going to see the slowdown first, is in brand new builds.
Agreed.
And the problem is that we need the new builds. We just don't need them at that price. Mm-hmm. And so what that does is it creates most buyers that are not going to be buying brand new. So it's not like a car where you get 0.9% financing. It's the same whether you're buying brand new, whether you're buying 50 years old, doesn't make a difference. It's the same exact interest rate. Mm-hmm. So I think that because people buy on payment, I think the concern that I would have is that if I were needing to, or potentially have the need to move in 2 years, that would scare me.
Oh, absolutely.
That would scare me. Because
I just told you, I'm nervous about 2025. So yeah, I mean, if you're buying an owner-occ home today and you don't know if you're going to live in it 2 years,
single family owner-occ.
Yeah, single
family owner-occ. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that's where I want to go next.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a 31-year-old and you're back when I was 31, 2 decades ago, roughly. Right. My dream was to own a single family home. It just was. Mm-hmm. It may not have been the wisest financial move, right? Because we locked in a big payment. Here we are. We're still here. We never moved. We're still in the same place. Today, because of folks like you and Dion and house hacking or room hacking like Todd Baldwin, there are just other ways. So what I would tell the 31-year-old today is, I'm sorry, you're not going to get your dream home the first time.
Yep.
Frankly, nobody does. Very few people do.
Yep.
Instead, think different, right? Use the cheat code to wealth.
Yes.
Hack your biggest expense. Yes. I can tell you, if you want to be rich in 5, 8, 10 years, go buy a fourplex, right? Do what you talk about in the course, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
And, be done when you're 40.
That's right.
I mean, it is right there in front of you. Anna Kelly, REI mom, every Wednesday told us that she sold her big home in Texas, moved into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath fourplex, right? With 2 kids and 1 on the way. That was uncomfortable. That was flat out uncomfortable. But she did that for 3 years. She lived for free. All that money became seed money for her next acquisitions. And then fast forward 10 years, she retires from her job. Her husband retires from his practice, and she bought a house, massive house. You don't go there first, man. It's a process.
I totally agree. It is the cheat code to wealth. The 4, 3, 2, 1 strategy works, where I've done it a dozen times. I've seen others doing it. I've mentored others through the process. It works. It works. It works. It's much better than buying the single family home and having to wonder what the market's going to do in the next 2, 5, or 10 years.
Yeah.
You have no idea. None of us do. But if you're able to, again, Mike, I think that people will look at these rates and I think they will go, can you believe that rates got below 3 for an owner-occ multifamily at one point?
Yeah. At 95% LTV.
Right. Like
What?
it's insane, and it's insanity. And again, I look at this and I'm just saying, my wife actually looked at me when I was watching our video. So we watched she was like, I want to see the videos that you did with Mike today. And I said, okay. So we watched them Friday night.
That's gotta be weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
Watching
Actually,
yourself
no,
on TV.
yeah. So it was last Tuesdays actually. Cause then I think it was late Tuesday night. She's like, I want to watch this. She goes, so let's watch those. And I was like, sure. And so we talked about it. She goes, would you ever house hack again? I go, before I answer, I just need to know, is it a possibility? And she goes, no.
You idiot.
I
Smash.
was like, I would totally. She's like, even with the 3 kids, I totally would. I so would do it again. You get addicted to it. You totally get addicted to it because you can find, I mean, I might not go 4, but you probably could, but I would definitely go like, I have
2 houses, 1 lot.
Yeah. Well, no, I have a 4-plex that is side by side. It could be condoed. They're 4-bed, 2-bath each.
Oh, dude, sign me up.
Like I would so jump in there, man. I would. And the crazy thing is even if I lived there, that building would still make $2,700 a month. I'd be living for free and I'd bank every dime.
Yeah. I'm guessing your mortgage today is what, 3-ish?
My personal?
Yeah. Like today.
No, it's much more than that.
So let's call it 5. So you go from sending 5 out to collecting 27.
Yes.
That's a 77.
It's a 77 swing.
Yeah, honey, I would house hack again.
Yeah, I would house hack in a heartbeat.
Dude,
I was like
77. That's $91,000.
Yes.
Yeah, you would house hack again.
Yeah, I would house hack in a heartbeat. Yeah, like I talk my book and I want to live in a house hack.
Oh, when your wife watches this video tonight,
she's gonna be like, no.
Listen to me right now.
And I love her. She stuck with it for a decade, and so I would never, force or really push hard. No. I get it. And so we're fine. But don't
ask a question you don't want an answer to, honey.
Yeah. I would do it in a heartbeat. I loved it. It's the fastest way to grow any sort of a real estate business. Again, it's so fast.
If you want to have a better future, you're 31-year-old today. It is not the worst market ever. You just have to think different. And the beauty of buying a 4-plex is you're not competing with baby boomers. There is not a baby boomer that I know that's going to go from their house, wherever it is, into a 4-plex. They're done, right? They're enjoying life. They want a backyard. They want this, they want that. You're not competing with baby boomers. So again, I love to look for deals where nobody else is. The reason it's the hardest market today is because everybody wants the single family affordable home. I do too. I'm trying to buy as many as I can. I get it. I know why it's hard. Well, go fish where I'm not, or the others aren't. Right. It's just stop it.
This is why I've been saying for months, the greatest asset class to be getting into now is 2, 3s, and 4s.
I think you're right.
Because in a year, I am going to look like the smartest 9th grade dropout ever.
Well, you already do.
Top 10.
You already do. It's not a high bar, but yours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, last meeting that the 9th grade dropouts went to, I was the only one because no one else could find the place. So it was.
That's bad.
But I'm telling you, this 2 through 4 and the cheat code to wealth and house hacking this way, it is going to set people financially free. You read about, and again, you're likely never going to see rates like that again, right? And you're getting into an asset class that is going to grow off the charts because single family homes will become not as in vogue as they are right now. People will just say, you know what? Just so long as I'm not having to live in a 400-unit complex, cool. I just don't want to live in a 400-unit complex or 150-unit complex. If I can live in a place where there's assigned parking and they're right in front of my unit, and this is and it has a little yard area, like that's going to be good enough for me. And especially for owner ox, I just like, these 2 through 4s, these, dupes, tries, and quads, holy cow, the opportunity. And the problem is no one's building that stuff anymore. Yeah.
You're going to get older. I totally agree that. Yeah. I totally agree with that. It is not the worst time to be a first-time home buyer. It is the hardest. Yeah. And oh, by the way, if you're out there waiting for the government to come in and give you some free money, I have news for you. That will not make it better. It will make it harder, not easier.
Yes.
So Get on the property ladder, think different. Don't compete with all the baby boomers wanting the big home. It's right there in front of you. I tell you, I fast forward to 2025 all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna love all those 4% interest rates. I
Oh
feel
my
bad
God.
now, right? 4.5, 4.99. 2025, I'm like, thank God I did that. I'm gonna thank my younger self. So very, very cool, man. Well, how can people find you, get part of your world? And of course, your 4-3-2-1 in my course is right there for the taking.
4-3-2-1 in the course is right there for the taking. If you're already signed up for Mike's course, it's there. And if you want kind of an idea of what it is, I just do a short 10 or 12 minutes on it on my channel.
Awesome.
It's a great introductory, obviously all the meat, because I spend over an hour teaching all the concepts in the course, in one rental at a time course. And yeah, that 12 minutes, it's right there on my channel. You can find it, just 4-3-2-1. But yeah, it's right there. But yeah, you can find me 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. This Sunday, we'll be doing another webcast. We went 3.5 hours on
I
Sunday.
saw that. I just missed it. I finished mine and I got over. I'm like, oh, he just ended. Three hours
Somebody
and
was like
34 minutes. I'm like,
yeah, somebody showed up 15 minutes before it ended, and he goes, well, so I should be good for another 3 hours, right? And I go, no, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Thanks, Mike. Anytime.